All right. Good morning. This is Yolanda Hinton, host of FYI Morning Show Live, along with co-host Edward Everett, aka Mr. E. Mr. E, good morning. How are you?
I am fair in the middling. It's a hump day. I'm fine. I'm fine as great wine. I'm 5'9.5" and bad to the bone bone.
I tell you what, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. You
That's
all
right.
should be up and popping.
That's right. You should be up and popping because it's the middle of the week, and this is the day that the Lord has made, and we should rejoice in it.
Absolutely. I tell you what, the weather here is going to be a little warmer. You know, we went into a little snow, we went into a little cold and rain. And then today we got a little bit, the temperature is going to be up just a little bit, maybe a little closer to 60 today. And so hopefully, well, at least for a couple of days, it'll be a trend. I think we're going to go back down, Mr. E, and it's going to be up and down for a minute because we're getting ready to go into March any day now.
April shower brings Mayflower. Oh, that's March. March come in like a lion and goes out like come in like a lamb and go out like a lion.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Well, anyway, we're not rushing things. February is fine with me. I'm excited about February and all that it brings, especially with us highlighting and featuring our Black History Month. You know, that's always a pleasure. And yes, so we are just look basking in being able to, come before you all and say, hey, just like Miss D said, we shall overcome. We shall go forth and do the things that we need to do, and we will celebrate those that were behind us, our ancestors, and those that worked hard and suffered and had to do so much so we could live the life that we're living now, Mr. E.
That's right. That's right. You know, it's one of the greatest things in the world for us to be able to do what we do because of what has happened, from his story to her story, what the past has hold. It's
Yeah.
wonderful when you can look back over life and see the legacy of our family members, of what they have done in order for us to be to where we are today. The clothes that we're wearing, they were designed and made by our ancestors, you know?
Absolutely. I want to say good morning. We have a few up here. The mayor, we have King's daughter. I saw King's daughter the other day, beautiful lady. And we just want to say thank you for joining us on today as well. All you all on Facebook Live, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. We want to say good morning. It's Hump Day Wednesday. Like I said, you all should be up and popping, honey. It's the middle of the week. And I tell you, so far it's been a great week. We thank God for this wonderful week. And we thank God for all of you that have joined us. This is FYI Morning Show Live. This is a day that we highlight not only just Black history, but we're going to talk about a few things that's going on in our world. I just want to mention the sponsors real quick. And one of the sponsors is Bulvic. Let me pull up. Let's see Bulvic Academy. If you all would go to www.bulvicacademy.com, that's Bulvic. If you look on the right of me, you'll see the logo. Go check it out. Our anti-bullying initiative, the books, Bullying is Right Underneath Your Nose, The Diary of a Former Bully. You got the game app there, Bulvic, Bulvic, where you can find on the website, www.bulvicacademy.com, or you can go to Google Play or iTunes and get the game Bulvic, Bulvic, for your kids, for the family, for schools, for teachers, you name it, community, anti-bullying initiative. It's just a lot of information there as well in the blog. So make sure you check that out. Along with Beard Gods, Beard, Beard Gods, Beardgodz. www. Check that out as well. So, Mr. E, we are here this morning. A wonderful, wonderful day. It's our FYI Wednesday segment. What's under the hat? Issues concerning you men.
That's right. It's issue concerning us men, and today we have altered that. We have changed that design because we saw something. Doctor Hinton just pleased. I mean,
Did you say
Congressman
Dr. Hinton?
Hinton. I mean, President Hinton. I mean, I'm just cutting up because I think last night I saw something. Well, you introduced the segment.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to first just highlight, since this is Black History Month, kind of highlight uh, someone that I discovered online. I wanted to give a tribute. I didn't know a lot about, but this is a great person that made an impact. You know, we think about Tiger Woods. We think about, those African American men that are in golf and have made their stamp on the planet. But we're going to talk about Mr. Charlie Sifford, and he broke the color barrier in professional golf, becoming the first black player to earn a PGA Tour card, Mr. E, in 1961, honey. And he was often called the Jackie Robinson of golf. He endured years of harassment and death threats to pave the way for future stars like Tiger Woods. His key highlights desegregated the PGA, successfully challenged the Caucasian only clause in the PGA Constitution. Isn't there something?
That's right.
He had to challenge a clause that said whites only. Mm-mm.
That's right.
Then major wins. He won the 1967 67 Greater Hartford Open and the 1969 Los Angeles Open. In the Hall. Yes, go ahead, Miss D.
He had huge influence, was later acknowledged by Tiger Woods.
Uh-huh.
Without Stitford, I probably wouldn't be here. My dad would have never picked up the game. We know it, and that's the writings of Tiger Woods when they chose him. He said, my daddy wouldn't have never picked up the sport, would never picked up the sport if it was not for Charlie Stitford.
Yes, he was in the Hall of Fame, became the first black golfer inducted into the World Golf Hall of Fame in 2004. He also won, go ahead, Miss D.
And he also born in Charlotte, North Carolina in 1922, born in Charlotte, North Carolina, and he passed away in Cleveland, Ohio. And, and I thought that he might have had also um, been in Olympics.
I'm not quite sure. If you go to Wikipedia, you'll find a whole listing of his accomplishments. One was the Presidential Medal of Freedom. He received the nation's highest civilian honor in 2014. It's just wonderful. And, a lot of people, sometimes don't know those that have paved the way. It's just a marvelous thing to look back and see those that really fought. It said that he had to suffer, of course, because when you're the first, you got to go through all kind of obstacles and things like that. As an African American, you just not gonna walk up there and everybody gonna say, "Hey, hello." You got to break down barriers and strongholds. And again, one of those things was to break that rule of the PGA. Caucasian only. You're not wanted here. You're not one of us. And can you imagine, Mr. E, once he got in there to break the barrier, all the things that were said to him, all the way he was treated. I'm sure he was called all kind of N words and everything. Being the first, one of the first to do certain things. And so he was born June the 2nd, like Mr. E said, 1922. He died February the 3rd, 2015. This was a wonderful champion, and he was someone that really moved mountains.
Just like one of our greatest baseball players, Miss Hinton, a fellow by the name of Jackie Roosevelt Robinson. Can you imagine what Jackie Robinson had to endure being the first African American baseball player to have to
Yes.
endure the same thing that uh, Charlie Stepford had to being called names, being called out of your context, being called everything but a good child, but a good child.
Absolutely. A
So
good child of God.
so now our African American history doesn't just have to be celebrated for the month of February, but it's supposed to be celebrated all years long. You know,
Yeah, we celebrate ourselves. We
that's
celebrate ourselves every day. We get up and look in the mirror and say, "Whoo, I'm beautiful. I'm black. I'm proud. I am somebody." You know, we. I'm not uh, saying that things haven't been challenging even in this day and time. We still face challenges, but we have
right.
great hope because we see those that have come before us, are the things that they suffered, bled, and died for. And so, for that reason, you know, when we look in the mirror, we can say, wow, look at them, look at their accomplishment. We can look at those now. We can look at ourselves and we can say, oh, you know, I'm here in this place wherein those that have come before us, some of them weren't able to do the things that we do now or be in the place that we are now. You know, we're able to live wherever we want. We're able to make choices that they weren't able to make. We're able to vote. We're able to just live where we want to live, work and educate ourselves. Some of these folk in the past, some of our people, our ancestors did not get the opportunity, but they paved the way because they suffered, they fought, and they died for the cause so we may have a better life.
And so our hats off to them. Our hats off to those great African Americans that stood on the front line, that battled the obstacles, that went
Yes.
in the trenches, that laid down their lives, that didn't call out of contents, that had to it had to struggle, got whipped, got hog whipped, got tarred and fell in
Yes.
feathers, and didn't allow the doors to open just for us. We our hats off for those folks who really took a blunt end of the sword so that we might be able to do what we do, play all kinds of sports and
Yes.
serve in the Pentagon and be the first soldiers out there on the front line.
Oh,
We thank
yes.
you for being lieutenants, being governors, being mayors, being who you are,
President.
letting us be the president of the United States. We thank you all, and on Black History Month, Black History Day, every day, for the accomplishment. School teachers
Oh,
to
yeah.
gym teachers, from coaches and football players, from first running backs and first quarterbacks, and I got a great friend that down there in Elizabeth City, who was the
Yes.
first quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. They thought Donovan McNabb was the first. No, 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 no. This fellow by the name of Johnny Walton, right here, homegrown in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, was the first African American quarterback in the played with the Philadelphia Eagles. So my hat's off. Yeah,
Yes.
my hat's off to all who have played, who have endured, who have run this race, and thank
Absolutely.
you so much for the
Yes.
endurance.
Millionaires, billionaires, business people, inventors, you name it. We are there. We're in the House. We're in the political race. Become presidents and governors and senators, and it's just you cannot say we're not in the House. We have worked toward where we are. God has brought us to where we are, and it is a marvelous thing to behold. We still have work to do because
That's
there's
right.
still obstacles, Mr. E, and there's still that thread of those that don't want to give us our props or want to acknowledge us as a human being. But honey, you don't have to acknowledge us as nothing because we acknowledge ourselves. And we are able to be where we are because God has allowed us to get there, to fight hard to be there.
Just like
So,
the scrip-
yes,
just like the scriptures say, may the work I do speak for me.
yes, we
May
have
the
worked
job
hard.
that they have done. Then you see what we call the beginning. You see a return in the investment. You get a return in your investment when you allow God to be God.
Yes,
When you allow
absolutely.
yourself to be to see the workmanship of what God has put his hands to do, has broke all the barriers. And when we
Absolutely.
acknowledge God, we give God the glory.
Absolutely.
We give God all the honor for
Absolutely.
the accomplishments
Yes,
of what we have done, even down to
absolutely.
the lawn chairs.
Yeah, so there's so many things that have been invented, Mr. E, so many things. Um, and we just are thankful as well for those things. We want to say hello to Phil Brown. He's on Instagram. All you all that are on, make sure you say something in the chat so we can see your name and shout you out. Also, Sheila Robbins, all those that are on Facebook Live, make sure you say something so we can acknowledge you. Over here, we have Reginald on TikTok. Um, Ghana, I believe that's the way you pronounce it. You got so many people up here on TikTok. The names are going so fast. Phyllis, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for your support. So, Mr. E, yeah, we're going to continue to celebrate ourselves throughout the year. We're going to continue to highlight in this month, which is almost gone, but we're still going to just acknowledge and give tribute to those that have been and done great things. But we also want to come here in real time, honey, and talk about some things that have taken place on last evening. Mr. E, I hope you got a chance to look at the State of the Union address on yesterday. I tell you what, a lot of people are talking today. It was a show to behold, I tell you that. The
For
State of the Union address is sometimes abbreviated to SOTU, is an annual message delivered by the President of the United States to a joint session of the United States Congress near the beginning of most calendar years on the current conditions of the nation.
well,
Oh,
it
Mr. E, go ahead.
for an hour and 47
A
minutes.
long address.
One of the longest, one of the longest um, um, State of the Union address these folk have ever done in one's life. One of the longest. I
Yes, it
mean,
was long. I was hoping that I could stay up and keep looking, and I did, But I was tempted once or twice to doze off. I was tempted, but I kept my eyeballs on what was being done and what I heard. Now, Mr. E, there were a few things that did take place. I was just kind of curious about. Um, you know, First of all, the Democrats, some of them showed up. A lot of them. What you think, Miss Steve? Kind of a lot showed up. Some people thought that the whole Democratic Party wouldn't be there, but there were some that chose not to be there. So that was something a little different than we've seen in the past.
well, when I look at it, when I look at it, and I saw all the Democrats who was on, and what they was debating, and what they was doing, I really thought for 1 second that they should have stayed there and got all the information.
I
To
think so
listen,
too.
I think that what they should have done was stay there and listen to what he was saying and how much accolades he was giving himself and what he was talking about only himself whatsoever. I was just thinking about that, how he thought that he was going to be, that the ball was all about him, round him, for him, and on him. It really blew my mind when I began to listen to all that hour and 7 minutes of accolades. I was really disturbed when I was listening to that hour and 47
Why were you
minutes
disturbed?
because it took so long. I fell asleep
Okay.
and I woke up. I, I fell asleep and I woke up. I fell asleep and I woke up. I
Yes.
fell asleep and I woke up and I said to myself, unreal,
Oh,
unreal.
yeah. Well, I tell you what, just a whole lot of things happened. First of all, everybody got in there. Donald Trump eventually came in and shaking hands with, his constituents and those in his cabinet and the military and I think the judges. Yes, he did acknowledge him. I know, especially at
I thought it would have been 12 judges.
uh, in the Supreme Court. Everybody wasn't there. You don't have to be there. That's the
Okay.
thing. These people actually don't have to be there, but they chose, the cabinet. I'm sure they required staff and all that stuff. But anyway, those some of the people that were in the House were Democrat, Republicans, the military, those in high rank. Then you had the Supreme Court. They were in the House, special guest, family. Trump's first lady, she was there. Just who you expect to be there was in the House. Well, it was a little bit of drama, Mr. E, and in the beginning, and that was Congressman Green, who on last year, I don't know if you remember, he got up last year with his cane and he was going. He was going to town. Now, Mr. E, this time he brought a sign. Did you see that? It says African Americans are not Monkeys.
We're
And he
not
said that because the
monkeys.
president put reposted put a video. It was a video that eventually came to a point at the end where it showed former President Barack Obama and his first lady Michelle Obama with gorilla from the neck down as a gorilla. That was ungodly, of course. But that's what he was saying. That was the message that he sent.
Well,
And
see, the thing about it, when he got up there last night with his cane, I mean,
what
and
about
he
the sign? What do you think about the sign?
I thought the sign, and the thing about it is some guy was swiping at the sign.
I
He was,
know it. Did you see that?
and I was looking
Did
for
y'all
a
see
fight.
that?
I really was looking for a fight, that they might go to battle with him, but they was escorting him out, you know,
Absolutely.
and a lot of the Democrats that was there began to make side noises and noises out there, But when you look at it and listen to what he was saying, there was all a pack of lies. Listen to me. I don't know how good that RX card is, but
Uh-uh.
he's got a Trump RX card circulating out there amongst people. It's just like the good RX. It's just like a discount card that you can get your medicine on. And I'm saying to him myself, this guy done gone all the way to the left.
Well, there were a lot of things that people said, this is a little bit far from home, a little far fetched. Uh, I look at it, Mr. E, as politics in this day and time, 2026, just like it's a reality show. You got all the drama in the world. You got those that are the good guy, the bad guys. It's just like a world of reality show. When we look at reality shows, you're gonna see all that kind of foolishness and drama. That's politics in 2026, and we did see a lot of that play out in this State of the Union. There were folks that were honored. There were folks that he threw shade on. He threw shade on the Democrats, like I don't know what. And they responded, when he might have honored somebody that they felt, hey, let's give a clap to. But basically, he got so mad and upset at the Democrats sitting on him. It's just amazing. And not responding to him. Now, let me tell you, the media now, Mr. E, the media coverage is saying that he had so many LIEs in that speech that it wasn't funny. That's what the
I want,
media is reporting.
I want to say you listen to FYI radio show with your host, Miss Yolanda, Lady Hinton. I'm at Everette. Don't forget to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9:30 to 10 right here on your social media platform. Have
All
a
right,
wonderful
he's
day.
going skidoo. He's going to leave us for right now, going into a meeting. But hey, let's finish talking about it. Let's finish shouting some folk out. We have Beat Beat on. We know who Beat Beat is. Miss Beauty, is that who that is? We got we got so many folk up here. The names are going so fast. Just follow you. Is on a lot of folk on the social media platforms. Eric, good morning. And make sure you all like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you follow us. Follow me right here at Y Hinton. It's YHINTON right here on TikTok. Please follow. Help me to get these numbers up. I would really appreciate you all following me. I will follow you back. I've been following folk back because I said I would. So you all follow me here. And you can also go to YouTube at Cristo Records One, CRISTO Records One. And also you can go at FYI Radio Show and on YouTube as well at FYI Radio Show host Yolanda Hinton. Of course, I'm on a Facebook Live, Yolanda Hinton, FYI Radio Show on Facebook Live. We got Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, just all the platforms. We are here, and we are here with the FYI Morning Show Live. We've been doing radio for 11 years, and we are here on our social media platform, and we just really enjoy what we do. FYI Radio Show to motivate you and to inspire you to rise above mere survival and find success. That's our goal. That's our vision. We have special guests. We have folk to give you information. We bring information. We do tributes. We have a time of giving. A lot of things go into FYI Radio Show. We've been on for 11 years, and we're glad to be able to share with you what we have, and the way we have been given to give to you. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you so much for joining us. I'll give you some information on how you can actually contact us and also be a part of the show, to come on with us live and to help us host, or either be a special guest. We'll give you that information in a few. In the meantime, did you all see the SOTU, State of the Union address, which, the media is this hair on fire. They going wild this morning. They have to critique. They have to say, what is their perspective. They have to analyze. And so, we are doing a little bit of that right now. But I'm so curious to know how you all felt. If you all would say something in the chat, hopefully I can see some of the things that you all are saying. That tells me whether you enjoyed the SOTU, or if you just like, that's not for me. Some people don't follow politics for the reason I just stated earlier about it being just like a sideshow, or it's so like reality show based. It's like it's so much mess and so much foolishness and so much disconnect. I've never seen a country with politics where people don't get along. I don't care. They're just not getting along. They're not together. We're trying to do something for people, for the country. One side says, no, they're only for this one, or this side says, no, we're going to just help this one, or we can't agree. We don't like you. You're a Republican. You're a Democrat. Oh, it's just the scrambled eggs, honey. It just don't make no sense. This is our leaders. And that's one reason, let me say this, y'all, that's one reason we need to get out and vote and to choose leaders that have the country in mind, that have the vision for the country, the United States, civil rights for all. We're still fighting for basic things. And if we have leaders that don't know how to stop fighting, because if you listen last night, there's a lot of division. You saw one side sitting down, one side standing up. Every time somebody said that, up. It was like, now, wait a minute, that's fine. That's fine to have opposite thoughts and perspective. But we see where a lot of things are not getting done. And we see where it is causing a lot of problems in our needs getting met. Our needs getting met because there's so much friction and division within our leaders, the leadership, foolishness. And so we've got to make sure we go to the polls. We got to make sure we're involved. We've got to make sure we're involved in our communities. We got to make sure, we're doing the things that we need to do in securing a better life for everybody. And so that's what we want to see. That's what we want to hear. Did you all hear that? Somebody tell me, did you all hear that kind of stuff? Did you hear, okay, we're united, we're going to do everything. Did you hear it? Did you believe it? And how can we work together for a more perfect union? So yeah, it was very interesting. I'm interested to know. Make sure you all put it in the chat. If I don't see it right now, we can definitely read and address it at another time. But I sat there and I a lot of times I wanted to turn the channel. Things I heard, some of the things I heard, I felt weren't truthful. Things I heard, I thought was shade. There are some things that seemed to be good things. There were some things, the tributes to different people, highlighting people and lift people up. But this is my problem, and I want to know what you all think about this. In one side of the mouth, there's a tribute. On the other side of the mouth, there are lies and falsehoods that's just coming just like water. How do those two mix? How do you honor those people? And then on the other side, sometimes you can't tell the truth from nothing. This is what I'm saying. That's what makes it a reality show, and that's what makes it seem so odd. So what we've got to do is, like I said, make sure we're getting involved and make sure we are hearing things. I wish that all of the Democrats would have been there. I know they have their own choices, which is fine too. But I would hope that they would be there to hear and to make sure that our leaders and especially our presidents and our governors and those council, those in the Senate and Congress would give an account to one another and make sure they're telling truth to the American people. Make sure that you are telling us the truth and not don't sit back telling us a pack of lies, because we don't have time for it. People are trying to live, trying to survive. And so for that reason, the people should be there to check one another and to get along enough so we can get our basic needs met. But anyway, it was amazing. I already said who was there. Some of the folk, family members, and I didn't see any former presidents. No former president. But I must say, look, I'm from Hampton Roads, Virginia, and our governor, she gave the after address review. She was there, Governor Abigail Spanberger. And she had a lot to say, and she, wasn't too pleased with some things that was said. And this is not something that she's just started. Throughout her campaign, she kind of ran against Donald Trump and what he stood for. And so she continued that. But I heard somebody say just recently, not only, have your opinion and your the way you see things, your perspective, but have a solution too. Have a solution. And so we're hoping, the governors, they will work hard to solve the problems of their community and those they serve. If things aren't right up there as some people think, in higher places, let's start with our homes. Let's start with our home, our families. Let's start with our communities. Get involved. Be a part of organizations that are doing things for others. Make sure you vote. Make sure you uplifting those that you're working with, and have understanding when it comes to different perspectives. You know, everybody don't see things the same, but there's no reason why we can't get along. Allegra, how are you? There's no reason why we can't try to get things together. Yeah, we on a different team, but there's no need for us to just tear one another apart, and it's not a good look for a wonderful country like us, where we just always fighting like cats and dogs, and we just we can't come together united. The United States. Let's do better. But I said it starts at the lower levels. So those that are city council people, those that are, mayors and governors and stuff, govern accordingly. Do the right thing for your people on that level, so we can continue to just spread out and make things better for all. We are dealing with so many things in this country. President Trump talked about illegal immigrants, talked about how, it was not his cup of tea. Of course, if you're illegal in this country, you have to actually get in the country the way that the country says that you have to. You have to come in legally. And I think we all agree on that. But the coin of people that are not necessarily illegal, but different, from different places, and have come here from different countries and things like that, we can't paint a picture of them as, being less than. We got to stop that, being less than. We've got to make sure we are not painting a picture of supremacy, that anybody's so much better than anybody. We got to get away from that crap. We got to get away from that. It's like, no, we are all in this country. Look, what did we say? That all men are created equal? Isn't that in the Constitution, honey? But we don't see that. I think we can deal with immigration and illegal people coming in, making sure they're not coming in and taking right of those that have done it the right way. But make sure others don't suffer that have done it the right way. Now everybody has to suffer. So that was addressed. Let's see. The tariffs. Oh my God. What did y'all think about that? I'm going to tell you what I thought was kind of funny, in a sense. With the tariffs, it's like, okay, the tariffs were put on by President Trump. But the Supreme Court said, wait a minute, let's look at this. Brother, this is illegal. These tariffs are illegal. And so the Supreme Court was sitting there, in my perspective, in my eyes, looking like they had just seen their last days, because President Trump got right up there and talked as though they was just that they had not made the right decision as the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court have a role in this government, and they are different, they are separate, and they make decisions about the law. It's in their hands to do certain things. The Congress, the president, they do things. President, the Congress, the Supreme Court. They were looking, I hope you all get a chance to look at it if you didn't. They were sitting back and they were like, what? Didn't we just tell you those tariffs were illegal? Now, we know we just told you that. Come on here. Let's not sit back and act like we didn't see all this stuff. Let's not sit back and act like that the Supreme Court don't have a say in the rule of how things work in this country. Come on here. So the Supreme Court said it was legal. illegal. President Trump got right back up there, like, look, they be illegal, but hey, I want those tariffs. I don't care what it do. I want them. And so I would be curious to hear from the Supreme Court. We may not hear from them. We may about what they. All I could do was go by how they look, what they were saying. I mean, by the expression. And I don't think they were quite pleased. They did a lot of staring. But yeah, so we covered the tariffs. We covered. Mr. E mentioned about the pharmaceutical online thing that is available for some. We've got to look deeper into that, so we'll know, whether we're for it, against it, or if it will benefit us. Some things are said that we need to look into, and not necessarily oppose just because we don't like that party or that president. Sometimes we got to listen and see, okay, is this something that would help and work for us? Some of the things the Democrats did get up and they clap. If you're a Democrat person, you vote Democrat. And so, some of those things that they did, they were for. Then there, the Republican side, I don't care what he say, they're going to get up and clap. But we want to know, are you real about what you believe in, or are you just doing it because it's your party? So, it was a lot said, a lot done, a long speech. In the past, in my opinion, you all, I feel as though in the past, the presidents are kind of like laid out not only what is being done, but what is going to be done in the future. And so I was hoping to hear a little bit more of that. Maybe if I go over it again, maybe I'll hear something. Maybe I'll hear something again, and maybe it'll fall in place. Maybe some of this stuff will make sense. Now, some of that stuff, let's just tell it like it is. Some of that stuff won't true. Can we agree on that? Now, I'm not gonna sit up here. I'm not gonna let nobody fool me, making me think that all that was true. Some of that stuff won't true. But I'm willing to go back and look at it again to see what was a good fit and what could help and what changes were being made. So it's a lot to look at. Look, you all got 3 more years. 3 more years. So you might as well get comfortable, and you might as well rightly divide this stuff and take it in as you should. Some of this stuff you can put aside and say that right there, that's not for me. I don't believe in that. That ain't. But there's some things that we are going to have to embrace. First of all, we have to come to grips that the person that's in office is the person that's in office, and they got, I think, 3 more years. How many more years? And you're gonna have to put up with this mess. But like I said, this is gonna happen with everybody that's in office. Some things are you gonna like, some things you're not gonna like. It's just the way it is. But I'm saying, if you all would take the time and look at your lives and see where you can make it better for yourself, do it. If you are, afraid of what's happened economically, look at yourself and see where you can make your life better, your family better, where you can change things up, where you won't have to have lack, where you can be productive enough, where you can have the things that you need medically, where your family won't suffer because of you. So look at yourself, and then look at our leadership, and go to the polls, honey. And vote for those that have your best interest in mind and the country. You got to put people in there that will do the right thing. You just can't put anybody in. That's the problem. You putting in anybody. Can anybody just be our leaders? You just want anybody? No, we want good leadership. That's why I encourage you all to do what you can do, even if it means going into politics, even if it means going into this reality show, this side show called politics in this day and time. I encourage you all to get involved on some level in society, whether it is, like I said, there's civil on the bar, even if it's just in the community, civil, what is it? Those little clubs that are in your community. In your community, start with your community first. Secure a better life for yourself. You know, if you look around, some people not gonna give you nothing. I don't care what you say. We just told you, we just gave tribute to Charles Sifford. And he was excluded just, because he was Black. He was excluded. He was a great golfer, and he had to break barriers. He had to pull down strongholds. And so this thing is not going to be easy. But I tell you what, you can fight, because that man fought to where he fought. He pulled down barriers. He pulled down barriers. And so we have to do the same thing. We're going to have to pull down barriers keeping us from getting what we need in life. Look, if you need to naturalize yourself, become a citizen of the United States, go ahead and do it right. Because I don't want to see you being dragged off in a van or a truck because you are illegal. Do it right. Because there are laws in place, and there are people that are now, the eyeballs are everywhere. The eyeballs are everywhere, and they are checking out who's here that don't supposed to be here. And so do it right. Come in the country the right way. They have laws, rules, and regulations, and do things right. Become naturalized if you want to be a part of this country. Run for office if you want to change laws and rules and regulations. Hello, Amanda, how are you? Do it right. Do things right. If you want to change your life and change your world, you got to start with you. You got to start with yourself. How can I make my life better? You so busy, the president, he gonna change that. Each president come in can do just a certain amount of things, and that's it. It's up to us to get involved. It's up to us to live a good life or seek for a better life. Look at yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror and see, what am I doing? Am I taking care of my family? Some folks ain't even taking care of their own family. They need to worry about what the president is doing. Some folk don't even take care of themselves. And you sitting up here looking at these leaders and stuff, and they with their half stepping, some of them. But what about you? What you doing? What about me? What am I doing? What am I doing to make a better life? What am I doing? Who am I helping? What am I changing? What impact am I making on this world? Look at yourself, and then start trying to change things. Like I said, if you want to go in politics to change things, go on and do that. If you want to get involved in your community and get on the board of whatever, do that. If you want to make sure the schools are right, make sure you get things for women's rights or African American rights, civil rights, whatever. You can do it. You can do it. But you can't sit back and think that somebody's going to always do it for you, because some people don't have your best interest in mind. Some people don't care if you live or die, actually. Some people don't care. So you got to care for yourself, and you got to make sure that you are doing things that will work well for you and others. So getting back to our governor, Abigail Spansberger, she's representing Virginia. Shout out to Virginia. But this is the thing. Virginia made history, y'all. This is our first female governor. That's what I'm talking about, getting involved. I remember when she was going door to door, and she wasn't even in the governor's race, gubernatorial race. She wasn't even there, but she was going door to door. I remember her knocking on my door, getting involved in politics. And now look at her. She's the governor of Virginia. And so she's saying, wait a minute, there's some things I feel like should be changed. I want to be a leader, and I want to be a good leader. This is what she's saying. Let's see what happens. And so, we're really proud to be in the know, Virginia in the news, Virginia, giving that review on last night. What did you all think about it? Did you think it was fair? Did you think it was one-sided? Did you think it was brilliant? Did you embrace the things that she was saying? Check it out yourself and see, and find out what's going on. Are you all looking at the media? The media, they're comical too. They're part of this reality show. They're part of this reality show. And yes, they have a part and a role in this. Are they giving us information that's truthful? You got to think about that too. Everything you hear on the media, it ain't truth either. Some of those are LIEs. Some of those are not truthful. There's some tales being told. There's some tales being told even in the media now. So it's no need for us to sit back and not, dissect a lot of things that are being said, even in the media. Well, today on the media, you'll find some media outlets that are talking favorable for the State of the Union address, and then you find some that oppose everything that was said on the other end. We've got to listen to each side and find out, hey, who's telling the truth? Where's truth at in this thing? So they have their part in this reality show, and I advise you all, if you can't take, the fact that there are tales being told all the way around, then stop looking at this stuff. Stop looking at some of this stuff, if you can't stomach it. Politics in 2026, if you can't stomach this stuff, just go on and get away from it and come back later and say, okay, well, what's happening? In the meantime, you do what you need to do. So, so it was very interesting. I was asking Mr. E earlier, any surprises? We did see where Congressman Green, he showed out a little bit. What did you all think about that? Did you think that was inappropriate? Did you feel like, he could have done it a different way? Did you feel like it just felt a little funny? And do you feel like it was disrespectful? Do you feel like it was right? Do you feel like it was wrong? What is your opinion? How do you feel about that? Do you think people should, the Democrat, our leaders should just be quiet when they come in and just listen, just have ears to listen? Do you think they're too emotional? Do you think they're too passionate, so much so they're making themselves look a little, because Representative Green, Congressman Green got put out. Whole thing. He got put out, but he's really passionate about, really what he's passionate about. I'll put it like that. And so he's showing it on the outside. A lot of people are patient enough just to sit back and see. And a lot of folk are diplomatic. They're not going to react just like that. But they have the power, these leaders, to change things. They do. And so sometimes not being emotional for them works. Instead of being emotional, they can actually go to the table and say, wait a minute, this is not working for the American people. This law is not working. We need to change this, that. sometimes that's the best way. I remember having a conversation. I have a nonprofit organization, and I put together this thing called Dinner and a Dialogue, and it brought leaders, mayors and senators, teachers, and people in the medical field together for dinner to talk about certain things. One of the topics that we addressed was my anti-bullying initiative, bullying in community, in the schools, wherever people are. Of course, bullying takes place. And so we also had parents, and we had those that were victims. And we sat down, and when you sit down and you hear people's story, you feel, it goes deep. They're very passionate and very emotional about the things that they have gone through and suffered. And one of our leaders that were there, the mayor of Norfolk, was there, and he said, listen, all those stories are wonderful. All those stories touch my heart. But you've got to change the laws. You've got to go into Congress and make sure they hear the stories so they can change things. And so that's what we have to do. Being emotional is one thing and being passionate is another, but also, going where change can be made is key. So if you all are really passionate about the things that are going on, make sure you get to those that are in high places. Make sure you get to those that can change things to make your world better, your life better, your community, your family, put them in a better place, your schools and things like that. So, make sure you're playing by the rules, because the rules say, you got to change things up here, meaning you got to work down here, but you got to go where change should be made. You got to go to Washington. You got to go, you got to go to those that governors and mayors and things that know about change and how change can be realized. So before we go, look again, if you have any kind of opinion, anything could be opposite than mine, I don't care. Just put it in the chat. We all have different opinions and perspectives, and I don't mind, as long as you're respectful. But make sure you say something in the chat if you feel the need to, say something. And if you want to say something in the chat about Black History Month. You can say something about the State of the Union address, politics, leaders, your community, or whatever. And that will be just fine. I wanted to go over a few things that's coming up for FYI radio show. And we have FYI Fun Friday. And our special guest, like I promised, is going to be the Love Guru, Tony Villa. He's author of the book Qualifying Men. So he'll be on Friday. We had to reschedule Dr. Hezekiah Brown. Of course, he is the author of The Case of Reparations. I love that book. And Conflict Resolution. He's going to be back on next week. He had a medical emergency in his family, and they had to reschedule the show. So look forward to him coming on. We also want to give tribute to him and all that he's accomplished as well. But he has 2 great books, and we're going to be talking about that on the show when he comes on. So look, Friday, the Love Doctor. If nothing happens, everything's okay. Author Tony V is going to be on with Qualifying Men. That's his book. And we're going to talk about relationships in 2026. So make sure you all join us then. We also have Monday Sports Talk. That's going to take place on Monday, FYI After Dark. Of course, a conversation with Yolanda, the lady. I'm going to start on TikTok, and we'll be talking and things like that about so many different things. If you all have any suggestions, if you all want to be my special guest, just put it in the chat or either DM me or you can call 757-714-7861 or you can email me at fyradioshow@gmail.com. I think that's going to be about it, you guys. Because TikTok is getting ready in about 52 seconds to say bye bye to me. But anyway, this has been a great time with you all. Thank you so much again for your support. All you all that are on, thank you so much for coming and being with me. And Mr. E. Let's see what else. Follow us on social media. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. You can be a special guest again by inboxing or the contact information, FYI Radio Show live at gmail.com. And look, we're going to see you on Fun for Friday. Listen, make sure you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Again, we'll see you. And take care of yourself. Until